Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. In this video we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead and the 7 deaths that surprised me the most. I think the reason that Rosita's death shocked me the most or surprised me the most was that she had made it so far in the story. I really, like when she fell into the group of walkers, I thought she was going to die then, but I didn't think that. I mean, I did, but I didn't because I knew they weren't going to let Coco die like that. But when she jumped out of the walkers, I really didn't think she'd been bitten. And just when all the characters had gotten past, that initial threat of the variant walkers and all the walkers coming in at the hospital, and I thought people were going to be safe. I just really didn't expect anyone else to die after Jules and Luke. And I thought that would be like the last death that we would see in the series, but I was clearly wrong. Well, I mean, other than the villains, I thought our core group was going to be pretty much safe. But as far as deaths go in The Walking Dead, Rosita, she had a nice death. We'll say. I mean, not like any death is good, but she got to go in peace. She got to be with the people that loved her. She got to say goodbye. She even got to hold Coco, some. So I think, while it did come as a surprise to me, at least it wasn't kind of like Noah. Noah had such a brutal death, and it was just so gruesome. Rosita just got to go to sleep, and then someone took care of her. So yeah, it did surprise me, but it wasn't a bad way to go. And I was really glad that Eugene got to have that final moment with her and just be able to tell her how much she meant to him. A lot of the characters don't get to do that. They don't get to have those final conversations. For me, Luke's death was shocking just because of how fast it happened. I mean, he's there shooting, and then, of course, Jules goes down. I couldn't show Jules' death because of just how gruesome it was, and, I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. But they were equally shocking just because it happened so fast. And then he is so heartbroken. I mean, of course he is because he just lost Jules, but the scene is just so sad. I rewatched it just now as I'm making this video, and it brought me to tears because you see all of his people, Connie and Magna, and they're just, they're so heartbroken. The acting in this scene from his group is just so good. I don't know how actors are able to do scenes like this, but it was just amazing and very shocking. Sadik's death shocked me, but it also made me really mad. Not because I really like Sadik. To be honest, I didn't like Sadik at all. And the reason I didn't like Sadik is because he came into the show with Carl's death, and I really liked Carl. Carl was one of my favorite characters. So when they kill Sadik off, it shocks me just because it hasn't really been that long in the show since Carl died. Like, why kill off the character that you're bringing in with the death of such a major character so soon after you kill off the other character? I mean, it didn't make sense to me. Like, kill Carl off and then, like, what? A season and a half later, something. I don't know. I don't know how long it was. To be honest, I'm still a little triggered about it, just making this video. He had such a strong character in Carl, and he just got better as he got older. And to take him out to bring Sadik in, only to kill Sadik like this, yeah, it just didn't make sense to me, and it just really shocked me. And yeah, I guess that's really all I can say about that. So around the time of the Pike scene, I knew it was going to happen, but I hadn't read the comic book, but there was a lot of buzz about this was coming up, and so I knew some characters were going to die. I didn't know how many, and I certainly didn't expect it to be 3 somewhat medium tier characters, I guess. I didn't expect Enid and Tara, and of course Henry. Henry was just so brutal because it was such a hit to Carol. And how can you not love Carol for all the stuff that she's been throughout the show? She's lost 2 children, one of her own, 2 that she had, really 2 that she adopted. And if you count, the girls that she had to put down, she's had so much loss. So I didn't really expect it to be Henry. I thought maybe Rosita, and believe me, I was relieved when Rosita didn't die because I'm really loved Rosita, but I did not expect to lose so many characters in such like 30 seconds, right? I mean, I thought maybe smaller characters and one bigger character, a bigger character meaning like King Ezekiel. Herschel's death was so shocking to me just because he was this kind old man, I mean, he survived getting his leg cut off, and, he was really the voice of reason to so many characters, and he really helped bring Rick back from, like a really bad place. And, he has this speech, and the governor starts dropping the sword, and then he looks at him, and I was thinking, man, Rick might be able to talk the governor out of doing this, and then, of course, we know that he didn't. But Herschel was just an amazing character, he gave such a good voice. He was just like, Herschel was the group's moral compass after the death of Dale, and it just goes to show you in this world, you can't have that. Beth really shocked me just because she was so innocent. Well, I can't show that scene just because of stuff with YouTube, and the pow pows and bang bangs. But yeah, we can see the aftermath here, and that's exactly how I felt when I watched this live, and when I just rewatched it to make this video. Anytime Maggie, Lauren Cohen is just amazing. She's an amazing actress, and when she screams, and we see Daryl crying right here, carrying out Beth's body, man, it breaks me down. It is such an emotional scene, and it was such a shocking death because she was so innocent, Okay, so before we get to my number one most shocking death in The Walking Dead, I'm going to give you a few that almost made this list. Dale was just such a kind soul. He was the moral compass of the group. He was the first real voice of reason. And he was to me, a big actor. Like, he was the only real actor that I knew of in the show. And I didn't expect him to go out so soon. And Bob was one of the funniest characters in the whole series. Can you imagine some of the scenes we could have had with Bob and Eugene if they'd got much screen time together? And Bob had just kind of worked out a thing with Sasha. So yeah, when Bob died, I really wasn't expecting that. Sophia's death didn't make it on the list for me just because I expected that she would be in there when they didn't find her. We knew there were walkers in the barn, and it just kind of made sense, It was incredibly sad, and it was, Carol lost so much. Carol lost so much over this series, but yeah, it didn't surprise me that she was in there and that she was dead. Carl's death was the most shocking to me. I remember when he revealed the bite. I don't think I've ever yelled at my TV more. I mean, I am a giant Red Sox fan, and I didn't yell at my TV that much when the Red Sox reversed the curse. So yeah, this death was really shocking to me. And I think it's because, the story of The Walking Dead is Rick's story, and Rick's story is protecting Carl, taking care of Carl, and just keeping him safe. And yeah, that really just changed here. I think I always thought Carl would be the last character standing. So those are the deaths that shocked me the most in the series The Walking Dead. What do you think of my list? Do you have different deaths? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video and you want to see more content, click the box on the left and that'll take you to my Ones Who Live playlist, or click the box on the right and that'll take you to one of my most recent uploads.